Okay guys, today's video is going to be on using the Ethernet and Wi-Fi on a laptop or PC and using them at the same time, simultaneously and automatically. Um, and I'm going to go over why you might want to do that and what circumstances and what it'll do for you, and then some of the things you have to look out for if you do try and do that. Um, the What I have here in the demo is down below. I have a PC, very typical of any kind of corporate setup anywhere across the world, really, and it's currently connected through a Ethernet cable to its own little router switch here, and this router switch is designed so that the Ethernet or the internet feed for it and this cable here would represent a distant wide area network connection. So that would be could be on the entire other side of the state or the other side of the country. It doesn't really matter. But and that connection that goes on that WAN to the PC down here, it has everything on it. It has the internet, it has the intranet, and it also has the access to the network of servers for the network drives. So normally that's everything you need, and it's all coming on one cable. The problem is that when you're on the distant end of a wide area network, that cable, and just like for my own personal thing at work, that cable represents a VPN that goes all the way back to the corporate offices, and it's a throttled connection, which means even though you could have a fiber optic cable coming, the speed is limited by the internet service provider to a certain bandwidth. And it's very expensive, so you could spend thousands of dollars a month for a circuit that only has 10 or 20 or 30 megahertz of bandwidth on it, whereas your average cell phone now, Wi-Fi hotspot, would easily surpass that. So and what's happened as the internet has increased and data has increased, these corporate connections going back to the home office are starting to really get clogged because everybody has to use the same single pipe. So even if you have 10, 20 people in the same office, they all have to squeeze down and use the same throttled 10 or 30 megahertz pipe coming out. So now a lot of these computers now have shifted in from PCs to laptops, and even the PCs now have Wi-Fi adapters. So you can switch and go to change over to your Wi-Fi and get that high-speed internet, but you've lost now all your connections to your network drives and your intranet and all the other things that you need on the corporate pipe. So you can't really choose to go with one and the other. Although they are making a lot more internet-based portals that that allow you to get away from having to be on a dedicated VPN WAN connection. So but still, you're going to need that WAN to get access to your drives. So I just wanted to go over and show how the computer when it has two connections, how it decides to choose which connection to use, and then how you can make it switch and choose the other one instead. And what the grand purpose of all this is so that you can split up the functions so that all your internet related activity that you want to look at and use, you can get through your Wi-Fi at high speeds, but not have to sacrifice your connection to the your LAN circuit and all that it provides. But you're not doing something crazy like trying to bridge the connections, which is absolutely forbidden. And that's something that you have to keep aware of is that the PC and its programs and everything to do about it is going to be under a group policy. So your IT group is going to be in charge of all those settings, and you're probably not going to be able to go in there and do anything. But I'll show you minimally. If you could just go in there and adjust your Wi-Fi setting, you can solve this problem of being stuck on the slow Ethernet. And the biggest problem, the reason why it'll prefer the slow Ethernet over a fast Wi-Fi is because when you first connect to your router, your little switch here, you do an auto negotiate, and it's going to be Ethernet cable to Ethernet cable, and it'll either be 100 megs or 1 gig, depending on how new a switch you have, because it's essentially a perfect connection. And so it auto negotiates for a split second and says, "Yep, we can talk at 100 meg." Now, when it does that, your computer, your PC down here, has no idea what's on the other end of that pipe, and it has no idea that pipe is squeezed down to 10 megabits at the distant end. So it doesn't matter if you can connect to this at 1 gigabit. If your pipe is only 10, that's all the net that you get. So if you have a Wi-Fi that can do 50 or 60 megs, that far outperforms this one, it'll still choose the Ethernet because it thinks it's faster because of that. So let me go in and show you where that kind of thing is decided, and how we're going to get in there and adjust it and change it to something else and show you the net results. So let me start off with coming up here, and we're going to go into the command prompt, and we're going to type out this command, and it's going to show us the different connections here and what's called their metric. And the metric is essentially its grade. I kind of like the analogy I like to come up with is if you came upon a sign, a road sign, and was telling you how many miles it is to a particular town, this would be your metric, and you'd obviously want to take the shortest route. So if you came up to a connection, a sign, and let's say you had the Ethernet and Wi-Fi here, and it said, "Hey, you want to go to this internet destination. I have 2 different ways to get there. If I take this way, it'll only be 35 miles. If I take this way, it'll be 55 miles." So the computer looks at these two and says, "Oh, well, obviously the Ethernet is better, so I'm going to take the Ethernet instead of the Wi-Fi. It'll ignore the Wi-Fi altogether." Now, we know in reality that that's not true, because there's a squeeze at the end of this connection, and this one is actually faster, but it doesn't know it. So let's do something here. Let's come in here to our Ethernet connection, and let's change it and slow it down to 10 megabits, and see what kind of effect it has on its grade, to see if it's any different. So we'll come down here and we'll turn it to 10 megabits full duplex, and we'll go OK, and it'll be resetting as you do the thing, and now it's reestablished. So we're going to come back here and we're going to try that command again, and we're going to look and we're going to see, oh wow, look, the Ethernet and the Wi-Fi are now equal. They are both 55. So it considered this Wi-Fi connection to be the same as a 10 megahertz one here. Now if I come and look at my my task manager here, and I come up and I look at my Ethernet, and I want to right click and go view network details, you can see over here I have my 10 megs selection, but I have a link speed of 72 on the Wi-Fi. So you would really think that if with a tie that it should favor the Wi-Fi. So let's do this here. Let's do a speed test and see which connection it uses, and we'll see which one it prefers right now. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do test, and we'll go and look. And sure enough, it's come down here and picked the Ethernet at its slowed down 10 megahertz megabit rate to do the test. So yeah, so the rule is if it's a tie, the tie goes to the Ethernet, because they just figured a physical cable is just a better connection. So it's even got a little bit of advantage when it's a tie. So let's take a look at the we're getting back down to the results here, and we had 9 and 9. So we had you can see our throttle kept us at that point. So now let's do this here. Let's see if we can change that and make it to where it prefers the Wi-Fi instead, and try it again. So we're going to come in here, and now we're going to come into our Wi-Fi, and we'll go properties. And what we're going to do now is we're going to change that. We're going to cheat, and we're going to manually change that 55 to something else. So I'm going to come down here and I'll go properties, and I'll go advanced, and I'll come down here and turn off auto metric and put in my own 5 and go OK. So we'll go OK and close. Now if I come over here and have a look and look again, oh look here, now my Wi-Fi has been upgraded to a 5 where my Ethernet is at 55. So let's do the speed test again and see if it uses the Wi-Fi instead of the Ethernet this time. So we're going to test again, and we'll come back here and we'll look. And looky here, the Wi-Fi now is screaming at 40 megs. And so this is the entire effect that we're wanting to do. We're wanting to tell the computer that hey, the Wi-Fi is faster, use it. Forget about the other guy. So that's the whole gist of what we're doing here. But in order to make this right, as the train goes by, in order to make this right, we have to make sure that we haven't lost our use of the Ethernet. So we need to be able to confirm that we can, if we are on the Wi-Fi on the internet, that the Ethernet connection is still good. So let's come over here and take a look at our folders over here, and this is and I want you to see that I have over here a shared network folder, and that's on the where are we at here? That's on this PC right here. So this is on the HP. and it's sharing a folder off of its hard drive with the PC down here. Um, um, so, and I have a video file on it here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video here, and you're going to see that it needs to access this folder over here on the HP, and so let's just fire it up and let it start playing here, and here it's playing. So if we come over here and look, we'll be able to see on our Ethernet here, we're accessing the that folder, because that's the only way we can see this video is if we had this. So now we got this, we have this folder going, I'm sorry, this video going, playing on the Ethernet. Let's see if we can go back and do another speed test and use the Wi-Fi and see if they won't work both at the same time. So I'm going to come back over here, I'm going to do test again, and we'll get back, and sure enough, look at here, I got the Wi-Fi screaming at 40 something megs, and I got the Ethernet going at the same time. So this is your big payoff. This is what you want to be able to have happen, is to be able to pawn your locally sourced internet on the Wi-Fi, and keep your corporate LAN pipe for your file servers and your telephones and all that other good stuff, because it's a very limited bandwidth on that side. So now I just wanted to talk real quick about there are certain situations to where there's going to be funny little times when you're going to have, like say an intranet app that you're going to click on it, and it will try and go out on the internet side. It'll try and go out on the Wi-Fi, and of course your Wi-Fi gateway will look at your request and say, you know, sorry, we don't recognize that as being a legitimate internet address, so no thanks. So on those rare occasions when you do find yourself, when you're running both of them like this, where you have to click on that, probably just the easiest way is to come over and then disconnect from your Wi-Fi, and then reconnect after you're done. That will force it to go on the Ethernet. And the good thing about this is that you can still use your Ethernet for your internet. This is just, like I said, is extra when you can, if you can use the Wi-Fi, and especially if you know you're going to be using intensive data, you're going to be doing video conferencing or something, and you don't want every time someone tries to transfer a file to have your video clog up. So, that's the big thing. Now, the other thing is that let me show you. You got to make sure that that when it first comes on, when your computer first comes on, that you don't try and not to have the Wi-Fi connected when it does, because you don't want any part of this to try and look at that part of the network. You want that network forbidden. As a matter of fact, what you want to do is you want to separate the two so that you can determine which one is the public and which one is private. So you want to make sure your Wi-Fi is set to public, and you want to make sure that your network discovery and file sharing are turned off. Have them turned on for the private one here. Turn that on. Yeah, make sure that you have them separated. So you have your WAN, LAN, Ethernet, however you want to describe it, as your private, and this one as your public. And that'll just really help to make sure that you don't have any problems in mapping your network drive here, because these are really finicky. Also, they make batch files that'll do the network mapping for you on the fly. So in case, because this happens all the time, you come over here to your drive and all of a sudden, hey, my network drives are gone. What happened? So they have a file where you click on the little batch file, and it clears everything out and reloads it so that you can see your network drives again. This also has a lot to do with your I guess the biggest problem with it is your user account control. So just keep that in mind if you're losing your folders all the time here, your network drives, is because your user account control is set too high. So it's being too cautious and not letting these show up. But anyway, there's the demo of it. I still have the video playing here off my network drive. And just to do one more demo here, let's do another speed test and have a look again. And there we are. We have the Wi-Fi going, doing the speed test, and we have the Ethernet still playing the video. So yeah, okay. Well, hope this explains it, and I hope this helps you get going. Like I said, that there's a good chance that you may have to get permission to change that metric feature if they have group policy locked on tight. So, all right. Well, sounds good, and we'll talk to you soon.